Playoff Predictor, and this week we have some really, really intriguing conference championship matchups. Where do you guys want to start? I'll leave it up to you. Where do you guys want to start in this conversation? Which conference you want to start in?
All right, let's pick it up in the ACC.
All right.
Because we know that's where the drama is, right?
Let's figure out this.
Or do we want to go all, or do we want to be ACC?
No, let's go ACC. Go ahead. Okay. Dive right in here. So, obviously, the title game, because of the Miami loss, Clemson, SMU playing in this game. What do you got?
Do they survive if they lose? Right?
I say no.
You say no. You say they're out. I feel like there is still that glimmer of hope that they are still in it, and there's a potential then for Alabama to be kicked out.
But the question is,
right?
Clemson would be a bid stealer.
If SMU does lose, right? The question is, do you have any wins against a top 25 ranked opponent right now? Do they?
No.
Exactly. That's a tough thing about it because they don't have any wins against a top 25 opponent. And then if you're SMU, you're going to say, well, we're playing in the championship game. Why should we be punished if we lose? That's because there's our fans of 3 lost teams that are a little bit upset. But we're going to show you right now to everyone that's watching, if they lose, they have a 36% chance to get into the college football playoff.
I don't love those odds, by the way. I mean, that's
well
below 50%.
But you're saying there's a chance.
Let's bring this to all. So, because you're going to see how this affects other teams within the rankings if SMU is to lose, right? So, Alabama is right here. You see Alabama right there. Let me put SMU to lose, 33%. Let's say SMU wins. Alabama's chances goes to 43%. So things go up and down based on the ACC championship.
Because Clemson's out. They have no case for an at-large bid, so they have to win.
Right.
If they lose to SMU, they're out. All right. So that's kind of the ACC. Let's move it around here, and I want to talk about let's go to the Big 12 because this has been a conference we've been following all year long. Now it's kind of dwindled down to these two teams here. Iowa State and Arizona State took care of business this past weekend, so they face off in the Big 12 title game. Let's say that Arizona State loses this game, Scoop. Right. So obviously they're a one-bid league. That's basically the point that we're seeing here.
Yep.
There is no chance that the Big 12 is getting 2 teams in.
Which we would have thought, and that's what Heather's been educating us on too the past few weeks, is that the Big 12 is probably a one and done. The ACC is also close to that as well. We'll see how that plays out.
How does that affect everything else? Who do you think gets affected the most by the result of the Big 12 championship?
I don't know that it really moves the needle. Now, what
I don't think it does.
What it could do is, like we mentioned earlier, if SMU loses, the Big 12 champion is ranked higher than Clemson is, they get that first round bye, and it pushes Clemson back. But
what if, though, right, and this is something we said earlier in the show, too. If Boise State loses to UNLV, then now we have some pieces moving. Now we have Boise State potentially kicking out Alabama, taking that spot. Right, and that leaves.
Let me do that for you right now. So Boise State right now is at a 70% chance. Let's say they lose, it goes down to 1%. Alabama's goes up to 47%.
Okay, so they're out if they lose. Then is basically what they're saying. All right, so there's no chance for them to make it. All right.
Not going to get two teams in from the Mountain West.
Yeah.
But to your point, it's a great point to make. Let's say that does happen.
Let me go ahead and reset.
Let's say the UNLV beats and upsets Boise State here.
Right.
Let's say that the Big 12 champion Arizona State is also ranked at 12. So you have, let's say, UNLV and Arizona State. Those 2 teams could pick up that 12 and 11 spot.
Yeah.
Right.
Which then would kick out Alabama.
Okay.
So that's kind of the point there.
And I guess, too, if Boise loses to UNLV, then potentially Arizona State gets that first round bye as the 4 seed.
That's the idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That'd be fascinating.
What have we
now,
got
are we worried about Georgia if they lose being out? Is there any concern for that?
So if Georgia loses, it doesn't change anything.
So they're good. They're safe. Texas is good.
Everyone considering it.
Yeah. Okay.
Texas is safe. All those teams are good. I think where you look at now is the Big Ten. All right. What's going to happen in the Big Ten? Just so everybody knows what's going on.
All right.
Oregon loses. Doesn't really change anything.
Okay.
Penn State, as the winner, is going to end up getting that first round bye, and that's where things really get interesting. So Penn State has a 54% chance to win the Big Ten championship.
I don't know.
More than I had expected, because a lot of people think that Penn State has a chance. They've had a cupcake schedule. They're a team that we haven't really been impressed with all year. They're a team where Tyler Warren is essentially the Superman over that offense.
Right. One ranked win. Illinois.
The Big Ten.
There is a case to be made that, and nobody's going to like me for this, they lose that game. There's a case to be made they shouldn't be in the playoff. Now, I know where the committee has ranked them already, but the case is there for Penn State, I think, to not be in the playoff. They're going to be. They're going to be.
Who replaces them then if they lose? Oregon now, right, gets the first round bye, of course. Okay, Indiana stays, Ohio State stays. Who then moves into that spot?
I would love to get the bracket in a little bit. Hopefully the guys in production can bring up the bracket for us as we talk to SEC. But that's
one of these teams. That would be my answer.
Is that where we get the potential? I guess Ole Miss. Does Ole Miss then take the spot?
All right. So Ole Miss. I don't know if they get the spot, man, but Texas 62% chance to beat Georgia. Even Georgia has already beat them. I don't know where these analytics are coming from.
Games in Atlanta, guys. Games in Atlanta.
Shout out to the chat. I don't know where this is coming from, but this is what it's saying analytically. So we got the two teams that we probably didn't think would win those games. Penn State and Texas are favored currently based on
pick it
analytics.
right now. Who do we think is going to win that football game? Sum, who do you think is going to win Texas, Georgia this week?
I think it's really hard to beat the same team twice.
Okay.
So
that was my line a week ago, so you totally sold that.
Yeah.
All right. Way to be creative. All right.